All right. Welcome back.
MisFit Nation. MisFit Nation. The MisFit Nation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by two veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the MisFit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the MisFit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the MisFit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the MisFit Nation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_MisFit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right, MisFit Nation, I'll tell you this. You're not confused and your calendars aren't broken because, yes, it's Thursday. And, yes, the Tuesday crew is still rolling in like a wrecking ball anyway. We don't wait for the right day. We don't wait for permission. We don't wait for the world to catch up when the crew wants to roll. Guess what, Buttercup? We roll, and tonight we're crashing your Thursday with more energy, more attitude, and more MisFit madness than the weekday can handle. So forget the rules, forget the schedule, forget that the week is supposed to look like, because we're not about to flip this Thursday. We're making it upside down, turning it into a most chaotic, high-voltage Tuesday you've ever seen. Misfits, buckle up, because the crew's here, the mic's hot, the energy is surging. And Steven and Jake are about to take this wrong day and make it feel so right. This is a special Thursday edition of the Tuesday Crew. Let's crank it up, boys. Take it home.
All right.
How you doing, Steven?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. And hey, MisFit Nation, I want to welcome you and thank you for being here on our 599th show. We're going to kick this straight off into 600. That'll be our next show coming up. And without you, none of this would have been possible. Every like, every share, every subscribe, this is what makes that possible. And speaking of making things possible, Steven, you ready for the big announcement?
What's the big announcement?
The big announcement. Got it from our producer that the MisFit Nation is the Veteran Podcast of the Year for 2025. Got that award last night. Our producer dressed up in a suit and everything.
He was looking pretty.
And I tell you what, it humbles me, and I am proud just to be a part of it. And again, MisFit Nation, we couldn't have done it without you. And so we're loving it. We are loving it.
Yep.
Okay, Steven, we have an awesome guest this week.
Yes, we do.
The Tuesday Crew on a Thursday we're going to be spotlighting Travis Landchild. He's a U.S. Army veteran, and his work is reshaping how we talk about trauma, healing, and the veteran experience. He is the creator of Stick Vet Comics and author of From Warrior to Veteran. He blends dark humor, spiritual symbolism, and raw honesty to expose the challenges that all service members face long after leaving the battlefield. His Stick Nation community offers veterans a safe place to heal, laugh, and grow. Hey, I've been around the website. It's pretty cool. We'll talk about more of that in the show. And it's proving that even simple stick figures can tell powerful stories of survival, identity, and transformation. His mission is clear, and it goes pretty much hand in hand with our mission, is to help veterans climb the mountain of healing together, one joke, one truth, and one step at a time. And without any further ado, let's get Stick Vet himself in here and kick this thing off.
Welcome. How are you, sir?
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. And hey, we gave about the nickel version of your bio of what you do. Why don't you fill in the other 95 cents, and you can just you can start wherever you want to and just tell us all about yourself.
Well, I'm one of the guys who joined the day after 9/11. Big lot of us. I still remember when I went in, there was a Vietnam vet who had a fake ID saying he was young enough to get back in.
That's awesome.
It was something to hear him screaming, "No, send me, don't send these kids."
That warms my heart a little bit. That is awesome.
So, but I joined as a mental health specialist because, I know myself well enough, and did a little bit in an inpatient psych. That was the first thing I did. And so I was seeing guys who had a psychotic break in the war zone months ago, and they've been like a zombie on meds, and now we have them. And so I'm seeing like the most extreme result of what the war is doing to my brothers. And then after that, I went to Germany with Big Red 1, where I was part of a 3-man team as the mental health team for the brigade. When we deployed to Iraq in 2006, we were the only mental health in the division, so we got upgraded real quick, and we covered 16 battalions, a population of 20,000, of which in that 15 months, I counseled about 2,800 soldiers.
Wow.
After that, a lot of critical event debriefings. Every single KIA, I would go out to that unit for 3 days. And then I was at an aid station that it was right inside the gate, a lot of activity. And so we kept our brothers and sister medics going. That was our primary mission, but then everybody else. And then after that, I started working at the Portland Vet Center. Great freaking organization. Just in that it is free counseling for all combat veterans of any era and anybody who's currently in the military that has served. And their records are separate than VA and DOD, so anyone going there can have counseling free of any threat to their security clearance or grounding if they're a pilot. And so it was a space that I could go to and just be a veteran helping other veterans. And I liked that. And it was also unrestricted. I started learning about Native American groups that were doing sweat lodges with vets. I started learning about other treatments and such that were not standardly in the VA, everything from acupuncture to transcendental meditation.
Yeah.
And so some of that started coming in, and I was counseling Vietnam veterans who were coming in for the very first time because they were just diagnosed with whatever Agent Orange gave them. And they were told, hey, you want to go to counseling? And they said, no. And they said, well, you want to go to the vet center and talk to a vet? And they said, yeah. So I sat down with these Vietnam veterans, and I was the first person they talked to after 55 years. And And
They don't like talking.
so I was the listener, all said and done. And then I had to go do my healing because I was living vicariously through the healing that I was guiding them through, like you do.
Yeah.
Just like,
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. You're dealing with all this and you're helping all these people. What do you do for yourself? How do you take care of you at the end of the day?
yeah, we just broke. I mean, I'd like to say, oh, no, we did these healthy things to keep it together. No, my psychologist was a psychotic break, and we evac'd him out of theater in the 13th month of our deployment. I broke mentally a couple times. I had a lot of healing to do. So I had this great thing happen right then where I lost everything: my job, my marriage, my kids, my house, all of it, all at once. And then I had all my possessions stolen too, just situational, everything. All the things happened. And so I was in this situation where suddenly I could do my healing. I got all this. I got time now. So I spent time in a monastery, and that didn't work too well. And then I went out into the mountains of the Cascade Mountains in Central Oregon. And that's when the path really started. That's when another Native American group found me out there. I used to camp I'd go back and forth between these two mountains. One was where one of my guides were, and then I went to another, and that's where I met this Taoist hermit who still lives out there in the mountains. Maximilian is still out there. He's a great soul. It's hard to find him. I have to go out there for a week before I finally find him and get to interact with him again. And so I really did the whole thing where, go out and live in the mountains for a while. And I'd come back into society and spend time with my kids, but I dedicated my life to the path. And so that's not something people can do. Not everybody can be like, hold on, I got to go to the mountains for a few years. That's not an option. Like I said, I had the benefit of loss to be able to have that opportunity. Yeah. And so now what I teach, my book, Warrior to Veteran, is how to do, the things I did in a situation that is more realistic for the average person, because Sweat Lodge is great. But, it's actually a lot like a sensory deprivation take. It's kind of similar. The stuff that I did with the Vision Quest and such, I've done similar work with meditation guidance that was in a city, in a cool place. But it was like, you don't have to go through these extreme things in order to, find the tools you need. That was my path, maybe. But so I try and take the things that I learned and break them down into basic, tangible steps that veterans can take. And that's the whole point of the book and my YouTube series, is to try and take everything that I've listened to and everything I've learned and just be a signpost pointing the way uphill towards your next step.
Yes. And, you're talking about getting back into nature. I horseback ride. I don't go out and live on we have horse camp, go out and do that. But that is some of the most healing, you're in nature, you're with this horse, you have to take care of this horse while you're out there. You have to take care of the people that are with you. And generally it's Mrs. Holland that goes out there with me. And it gives you purpose, and plus gets you back to nature. And it makes you feel so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Equine therapy is an amazing, they're very empathetic animals and can really take over your energy You know,
Yes.
you know, yeah. My mentor did Esquian therapy later on. That's what he does now. My Vietnam veteran mentor. I've had probably a dozen mentors. That's one part of this path is always seek guidance of your elders. Doesn't matter if they did it right. Even if their guidance is don't do what I did, it still is good.
You're still learning something. So yeah.
Stephen, that don't mean that you can ask me for advice.
I wouldn't. But okay.
Oh, so you did all this. And first of all, I want to talk about your time as a mental health counselor in the military. I'm going to tell a little story here. I told you I was going to tell this story. Second tour, I was in Baghdad. I was not with my unit. I was with another unit. And it wasn't a good time. I was going through a divorce. Stuff wasn't really good out on the battlefield. It was bad, as a matter of fact. And I had a new girlfriend who was later to be my wife, and we'd only known each other a short time before I deployed again. And it was a rough time. And I just happened to be passing by y'all's building there on the Liberty Base Complex, saw the sign and said, you know what? I'm going to go in and talk with somebody who, I'm not going to say doesn't have any interest, but is not connected to my unit. So I went in there, told the specialist or sergeant behind the desk, hey, I need to talk to somebody, and boom, got me in there, talked for about an hour, hour and a half, immediately felt better. Wasn't embarrassed about it, thought I would be, but I wasn't. And then I shared it with everybody else. I said, hey, go do this. It makes you feel better. I mean, I don't know, it's almost like it gave me a new lease. And I just, thank you for being a counselor and doing what you did. That I don't know how many people that you had. Well, you said that you helped. I was one of those statistics that your group helped, and I am forever grateful for that. So thank you.
Appreciate it. And thank you for going. You know, we had to deal with the constant fear mongering about going to mental health. I don't know what to call it. It was the whole, you know, if you seek help, then you're weak.
Yes.
You know, the generic, if you're going to them, then you're crazy and we shouldn't trust you. And, you know, we would go out and there's a secret in the war zone. Everyone's having suicidal thoughts.
Yes.
It's an intrusive thought. Are you able to easily dismiss it? Is it hard to dismiss? Do they linger? Is there like way too many more a day than you can handle? That's the important question. It's not if you're having them. Are you kidding me? It's a war zone. You're probably having them. And if you're not, now I'm a little bit worried, because what kind of sociopath doesn't have intrusive suicidal thoughts while they're living in a war zone surrounded by every single aspect of death? Like, it's just a thing that's going to happen. so quit acting like you're not, you know. And so that was kind of a nice reverse. Like, if you're not having suicidal thoughts, then you're really crazy, and I might have to evac you out of theater. Like, that's the kind of what the attitude I'd take to get them. Oh no, I have them too. Yeah, it's totally normal. You know? And so like, but then they're like, oh, we can say these things and it's not a bad thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's so much better to get that out in the open and talk about it.
That's Bruce Banner and the Avengers. That's my secret. I'm always, there's always something. There's always something going on. Like somebody will walk up to me and say, "How's your knee feel today?" My knee always hurts. You know what? I just go through the day. It's always there. The pain is always there, but I just work through the day. You know, that's how life is sometimes. You hide it and you just move on.
Hey, Stephen, got a question popped up for you in there. You see that?
Yes, I love. I love them big guys. Cagney, are you feeling better? Am I high or are you on Thursday? You might be high. It is Thursday. We are here, but I'm fine. I'm doing good. It's okay if you're high, though. If it was up to me, I'd be high.
So your book. Let's talk about your book. You told an interesting story about how you were writing your book, you failed, and you just couldn't get through the book. Tell us a story about how you ended up writing your book.
So, I'll tell the whole story.
Okay.
So, I started working at the vet center, like I said, and I kind of have a mental break, stop there, lose everything, start my path of healing. But it's in that vet center time, right about then. I'm working there, and I'm like, and I call up, can't use their names. I call up the other two on my team of three.
Okay.
Pete and my brother. We'll go with that. Pete was the psychologist that evac'd out of theater. He was also working at the vet center, and all of us were like, well, our mission never ended. My enemy is still the demons that soldiers were acquiring in the war zone, and I would help them, make a good first impression with this new relationship that they'll have. And now I'm dealing with veterans that have to live that life, and that's when it really starts. It was like, oh, okay, so everything was just to get to now. And so we started this mission, and we had this dream of writing a book of everything that we learned, going out on stage and teaching. Pete killed himself in January of 2012. And that mission came down to me.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's still in. Can't say his name because he's still on operation.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to write the book. I had to tell our story. And I would attempt to do so and create a whole cover-to-cover book of insane ramblings that just did not make sense. And over, just trying. But I had to do my healing. I was too mentally broken to be able to even communicate that which we learned. But as I'm doing that, every once in a while I started I'd make a point or what I thought was, and then I draw the veteran in the margins, just a little stick figure with a hat that said vet. And he'd be like, yeah, like anybody's going to understand this bullshit. And I'm like, so like that's kind of how it started. And I just started like drawing characters in the comics and or in the drafts of this book that I'm failing at making over and over. And that's actually where Stick Vet came from, was in the margins of my ramblings, trying to get this out. And I was writing a chapter about the veteran's relationship with death. And so I drew Stick Vet and I drew death. And I changed Stick Vet to where he has a smile now. And that's all I did. And I was like, that's what I'm trying to write. Why am I writing? So I just tried the comic, and it's just Stick and Civilian, and Death comes over and Civilian runs away. And Death bums a smoke, and Stick says a corny joke. And that's it. And that comic got more traction than my wedding photos, than the birth of my children, than anything I had ever done. And so I'm like, oh, they like it. Okay. Okay. Let me do another one. Let me do another one. How about Chick Vet? and a civilian comes up and goes, oh, was your husband in the military? Right after thanking Stick Vet for his service. So, you know, the whole how women veterans are cheated. Boom! Now Stick Vet has more followers than I do. That's weird. My fictional character has more friends than I have. That's okay, cool. You know, I'll keep going. And so I let go of the book for a while, and I started drawing the comics. And it worked for a few years, but then, you know, went off the grid.
Yeah.
Did my cleansing for a few years, and that mission of the book came back. I've done my work. Can I write it?
Mm-hmm.
And another, I don't know, 8 cover to cover insane ramblings. Trying. This time it's like closer. And I start typing it out. And I got like, 50 pages, 10 that I could use pieces of ish. Not much. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this last year, I let it go. I let Pete go. And then started a YouTube. And I'm like, I'm just going to tell my story. And wrote out a script, did a video, script, video, one video a week, 22 videos later. And I tricked myself. I wrote a book. I had it all there. I was one edit away.
Yep.
So I went through full edit, published in June, From Warrior to Veteran. My first veteran training manual, first of many.
Nice.
And the YouTube video associated and everything to kind of, you know, because some of us don't read. Some of us can barely write.
And I'll admit, anytime we have an author on here, I love to read, and probably much to the chagrin of Mrs. Holland, anytime we have a veteran on here, I immediately go and order the book. I like to read, so thank you for writing that book. It adds another book to my library.
Yeah, yeah. Some of us do read and don't like YouTube's, other, you know, but.
And I read a review of a book of yours.
Uh-oh.
And it said, this book belongs somewhere between, I think it said, homicidal psycho jungle killer and art of war in your library. So I'm like, okay, I got to get this book. So yeah, that was pretty amazing. That was pretty amazing. Got a couple questions for you in here.
Oh, yeah.
I was just scrolling looking for it.
There you go, Stephen.
Okay, at Carolina, my mind on is Travis. Sorry if I messed that up. What moment or memory sparked the creation of Stick Vet Comics?
So Stick Vet is about my brothers. It's rarely about me. I just drew a comic series about Stick Vet and Haunt, the ghost of the fallen brother that follows him. That was about me. That was a lot about me, but also like what we all go through. But like I was pulling from my life on that one. But usually Stick Vet's about my brothers, and it's specifically about the most common soldier I had repeatedly, not the most common that I saw everybody, but the ones that had appointments that came back every week and I saw consistently. The majority of those were E6s that had 12 to 16 years in the military, and they knew E7 was an option, and that if they took it, they would lose what remained of their soul. And they had to choose to get out now and save what remains of their humanity, or sacrifice the rest of it to the system and stay in. And Stick Vet is about them getting out. And mind you, these are the NCOs that you wish you had. These are the platoon sergeants that if you didn't have that, you were like, man, he's like taking the brunt of the bullshit for his guys. And I wish my guy would do that. We're just having to deal with the whatever. So like that's who stick vet is. It's the best case scenario soldier, the soldier we aspire to become.
Yes.
Still has all these issues in civilian sector. It doesn't matter how awesome of a GI Joe you were and all the training in the world. Guess what? You're still a veteran civilian sector with the entire gauntlet of problems. It's not like better soldiers have less problems as a veteran. Nope. And that was part of the point of like, this is the best of us. Stick vet is our leader and he's having issues. Well, shoot, of course the immature private that got out is going to have an even harder time. So that's kind of the main character that Stick Vet is. That's why he's a stoic. That's why he's quiet and just gives simple, poignant one-liners, is because that's what those guys would do. They didn't freaking bumble around with their words. They just would, here's one sentence, I'm done. And so that's who Stick is. He actually is one of the people. And in that way, as opposed to the other characters ended up becoming, like my team now is characters in the comics. Like you'll see whatever they're going through is that's what happens now. It's now I have a team. Now I have a Discord. I draw my comics live with a dozen veterans watching me in the chat in the Stick Nation Discord. So they'll start riffing and be like, ha ha ha. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to write that right now. That's hilarious. That is now the punchline to this comic. I didn't have one, but now I do. This is great. And so like they can be part of the process and stuff. And it's, it's become a whole community creation thing, but it's always been that way. Stick is about my brothers and sisters. And, whenever I do a chick vet comic, I call my sisters and ask for permission. It's cool. I'm saying this about you. So like, is this cool? And they're like, yeah, I love it.
Awesome. We got another question popped in here. I'll pop it up there for you, Steve.
Oh, gee, thanks. That Cellibate loves some yum yum. I love that. Your comics mix humor and spiritual symbolism. How do those elements help veterans process trauma? Thank you for that question.
Firstly, it's normalization. Go to Facebook and go to one of my comics that's really pushing. Look at the comments. Look at it. Go to my Facebook and look at the comments. When you see 50 or more, or 80 comments, or 100 plus comments, read them. Read the long paragraphs that our brothers and sisters write, pouring out their feelings and truth right there in a freaking social media setting with trolls and Karens all about, ready to cancel them, and they still just do it because they putting themselves out there. My message inbox is full of it, but the normalization. I thought I was the only one. How did this guy know how to write about my life? It's also, then they get in the comments and they read 40 other people saying that, and they go, oh, this issue that I thought was only me is actually super normal, and it's mostly all of us or a lot of us or whatever, and you so it's like, oh, okay, well then if this isn't an individual thing, then it's a thing you can work on now, and you are taken out of the helplessness of the cesspool of your life, and actually just in the normalization you have a little bit of light towards that which you can do about it.
Yes.
The second piece, because you brought up the spirituality, is the demons that I draw, because it started with death and stick, and then I drew predator and prey and witness, and then guilt and shame. Addiction is coming. I still have to work on the symbol. I drew propaganda, hypervigilance, ego, the fear of being the weakest link.
Yeah.
These are aspects of ourselves that we can change. But if you identify yourself as that, you're screwed. So by drawing them as demons. I'm saying that's not you. It's something you got to deal with. You have a relationship with this thing.
Yes.
But it's not you. It's what you carry and what you have to let go of.
Yes. Definitely have to let go of it. Definitely have to let go of it. We are going to take a little pause right here for a public service announcement, and we will be, well, we're going to stay live, but we will be right back. MisFit Nation, as you know, one of our main missions is to keep you here for tomorrow. And we hope to do that. And we just want to let you know we love you. We want you to be here tomorrow, because tomorrow will not be as beautiful a day if you're not here to share it with us. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling that darkness, pick up that telephone, dial 988, take option 1 if you're a veteran. Somebody will get you the help that you need and get you onto a right path. But you have to pick up that telephone. And if you don't want to pick up that telephone, hit us at info@themisfitnation.com, Steven@themisfitnation.com, or Jake@themisfitnation.com. Drop your phone number in there. We will call you. And I guarantee you, while one of us is talking to you, the other ones are going to try to be getting you the help that you need where you're at. So please do this for us. It's, please, because again, tomorrow will not be as beautiful day without you in it. We love you. Thank you.
Oh, and a quick shout out to all Sticks people hanging out on his Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you also check out the MisFitNation on YouTube, and like and add us too.
Yeah, because y'all got some great
going
comments.
over like and adding him real quick after this.
Yeah.
I've already joined the Facebook group.
And I saw another question in there, Steve.
Yes, I did too.
You want me to read the screen
Mountain
name?
boobs for you. From your experience, everybody's laughing. As your experience as a mental health specialist, what do you feel veterans struggle with most after service? Thank you, Mountain boobs for you.
That's a good question.
Struggle most? Isolation. Our greatest, yep. I had to think about how I want to say this. Our greatest enemy as veterans currently is the suicide epidemic that we are facing. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, because if you're in isolation, you have time to think about your demon, or let your demons get into your head. And
I look at
that was my experience with it.
Yeah. I believe we, like it describes in the Warrior's Reflection, which has been the basis of my path throughout this whole thing when I went off the grid. The isolation is such a natural thing for us to come back, and so many things. What? You come back and you are a different person. The military trains whoever you were out of you as best it can. It doesn't do a great job. It does the best it can, though. And then if you get the opportunity for the war experience, that burns what was left. So you get how many pieces of self still remain after all of that? Well, you can take that and be like, you come home and everybody sees you as a different person, and there's that disconnect, and you lash out at people. You see dangers in the kindness and concern of your family. You see threats in your loved ones, and you hurt the people that you love. And you're like, okay, I know how to protect the people I love. Genius idea. I'll just isolate myself with my demons because I'm strong enough to deal with them alone, because I have this ego that was trained by the military to think such things. Like that's what we were like, I can handle it, just me. And as if you could just drink them into oblivion. And that very natural thing is where we get stuck in isolation. And isolation is the if we kill that, we may have solved the suicide epidemic.
Yes.
If every veteran is getting in a squad, then do we still have the same problem? So unity becomes the ultimate solution. And in reflection of that, isolation is the ultimate problem of that. And we'd also like, you know, when you go to a new unit, when you're in, we're just like, here's your new friends. Here's the people you have to just be cool with dying for. We know you probably really don't like one of them. Deal. And you like become but you don't pick. And you become brothers. And then if you go to a new duty station, they just go, here, this is your new group. You don't pick. And then you go to civilian sector, and then they lie to you one last time before you leave. And that retention tells you, you sure you don't want to stay? When you leave, you're alone and disconnected from something bigger than yourself from now on. And it's a lie. No, you're not. You're still connected. There's still a brotherhood. You just have to find your own frickin' squad with the veterans who are also isolated within a 5-block radius of your dumb self. Like, that's the thing that has to happen. And so it's kind of a grassroots movement in order to create that social change in the veteran community. This is the core of my mission, is to create that grassroots movement to, what if the second thing, when you see a veteran and you say, oh, you were in? Oh, yeah, I was in the Army. Oh, I was in the Navy. What if the next question everyone always asked was, what squad are you in now? As if who a veteran is based in the squad that they're in. Wouldn't that be great?
And then, hey, you want to be in my squad? Or,
right.
You know, whatever. We're lucky around where we're at here, or where I'm at. I live within 40 miles of Fort Campbell, and there are so many veterans out here, and it is, you know, you run into them everywhere. And you know, I always try to go out. If I see somebody with, you know, veteran paraphernalia on the back of their vehicle or whatever, I go out of my way to say, hey, brother, where'd you serve? And it's great. If it's a Marine, I always carry extra color crayons with me to give him in case he wants a snack. But but yeah, and because deep down, everybody wants to be a part of something. And yeah, it's just great to open up that door to people, and to have people open up that door to you. And it's really a good thing.
Well, and in isolation, you're also helpless, because all of our training is squad-based training. You got to remember, like, it's take a door team. Okay. 4 people in order to go into a hostile door. The one position, all he does is look left. He's going to look right. I don't have to look right. I trust him with my life. And now that veteran does that over and over and over and over and over, freaking, until to where he does it in combat, and he's able to do it. And now he's in civilian sector, and you wonder why he can't handle going into an interview by himself. How dude? You know what I mean? Like, of course, you can't do anything. What can you do by you have to have that squad right before you go in, because we have this training that's like, no, we have a weird codependent enabling kind of like relationship with each other. But on the flip side, we are able to do more than any one person can ever accomplish as a group.
Yes.
And you lose that when you're alone.
Yes, we can. Another question, Stephen.
A couple of them. As Sergeant of Men, most of the women I had in combat would not seek help, and the men were forced to go 90% of the time. It was not stigma. It was not wanting to miss out or FOMO for you younger folks. How do we change that way of thinking? The women didn't want to go, the men were forced to go.
The weakness demon. If you don't go, you're weak. When you're in the stigma, man, you have to take the mature point. You have to call out the, oh, you're weak if you ask for help, bullshit for what it is. You really do. I had my own first sergeant would talk about how he doesn't even get why we're even there, and anybody who goes to us is weak. And my freaking NCO, my brother, would get in trouble by arguing with him in formation, just right off the bat, like, well, but be right for doing so.
Yes.
Right. The last thing we need is for more of that. There's plenty of it already. And so it's, you have to call it out. You, as if it's the ridiculous, immature thing that you're sick of putting up with a little bit. You got to call it out for what it is. And I would see NCOs do this, where like they'd catch someone being like, "Oh, you're gonna go see the crazy, you're gonna go off to see the wizard," and some NCO would light that guy the frick up for shaming him for seeking help.
Yes.
But that NCO was a rarity. He was the NCO in that platoon who would do that, and the other ones wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it was a rare reinforcement, but that's what's necessary, whether you're in a leadership position or, low enlisted. It's taking that mature stance.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that the stigma is getting erased, because I'll go back. I joined the Army in 1986.
I was going to say like 1942 or something.
Shut up. And there was a stigma there as well. Okay, nobody even knew that there was mental health counselors. But you didn't go to sick call, period.
Right.
I mean, unless you had like a bone sticking out of your leg or was like bleeding profusely and it wouldn't stop, you didn't go to sick call, because there was a stigma associated with that. I would hate to have seen what would happen to somebody back in those. Hey, I need to go see a mental health counselor. These people would have had you in a straitjacket. And I'm just glad that stigma is being erased. You go to the gym, you take care of your body. You got to take care of your head too, because
oh yeah,
that's what controls it all. Got another one, Steven.
Yeah, no.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, this one. At got shot, fell, got up, and stuff. I love that. What inspired you to write From Warrior to Veteran, and how does that path reflect your own healing journey?
Oh, okay, so From Warrior to Veteran follows exactly what I did, but I don't really talk about like, oh, and then I went out in the woods and I like hung out next to this bear and he didn't eat me and I learned whatever. Like, I went to a mountaintop and blah. I don't do that. It's not a book about walking around the woods learning shit. No, it's at the beginning of it, when I was doing the sweat lodges with this Native American group, they gave me the Warrior's Reflection. And the Warrior's Reflection is a Nez Perce poem. You can kind of call it a poem. It is it's from their oral tradition. So this is hundreds, thousands of years old. Who knows? It's just part of the oral tradition of the Nez Perce Native Americans. And it goes through all the aspects of what it means to become a warrior from the perspective of a boy being warned by his elders of the path that is before him. And so this goes through. Do you mind if I read it?
Yeah.
Do it.
It's your show.
Let's let me go through it really quick because it is a powerful piece and it's hard to talk about something without actually like, you know, the warrior's reflection. They said I would be changed in my body. I would move through the physical world in a different manner. I'd hold myself in a different posture. I would have pain where there was no blood. I'd react to sights, sounds, movement, and touch in a crazy way, as though I were back in war. They said I would be wounded in my thoughts. I'd forget how to trust. And I would think that others were trying to hurt me. I'd see dangers in the kindness and concern of my relatives and friends. Most of all, I would not be able to think in a reasonable manner, and yet it would seem like everyone else was crazy. They told me that it would appear to me that I was alone, even in the midst of people, and it would feel like there was no one else like me. They warned me that it would be as though my emotions were locked up and I would be cold in my heart, not remembering the ways of caring for others. And while I might give meat and blankets to the elders or food to the children, I would not be able to feel the goodness of these actions. I'd be doing them out of a habit and not from a place of caring. They predicted I might do harm to others without plan or intention. They knew my spirit would be wounded. They said I would find no comfort in family, friends, elders, or spirits. I'd be cut off from both beauty and pain. My dreams would be dark and frightening. My days would be filled with searching and not finding. I would not be able to find connections between myself and the rest of creation as I would look forward to an early death. And I would need cleansing in all of these things. Nez Perce. I took that and I did every single step. I created a mantra opposing each step. I would move through the physical world in a different manner. I would say, I am not this body that I live in. I am on my way and my body follows. For my body is a vessel and I am the captain of my soul. I would have pain where there was no blood. I would say, my body's pain has nothing to do with who I am. My body's pain has nothing to do with who I am. In each piece, I had a meditative mantra, and I would, Okay, so I was like out in the middle of the woods, and I was hanging out at hot springs, and there was this hot spring that had a 115-degree top pool and 4 pools, waterfalls to each one, and I just go and sit under the hot spring waterfall and meditate for hours on end, repeating these mantras over and over. You know, using the hot water to make it easy for me to just stay there in that moment. It's kind of like meditation cheating a little bit, but it worked. And in that, I also had to do work, whether it was from my guide or my guru. I had to do the work. And I had to, like, you know, go to mountaintops and listen to the wind. And I came back and I told her the lessons that the wind, I thought, taught me of a week spinning on the wet mountaintop. And she said, that's good stuff. That's not what the wind teaches you, though. You need to go back. And I'm like, what is a specific message? So like I had to like do my spiritual work in a very, you know, natural out in the mountains way. But then what I do is I didn't so much go into doing that. I say, like, you know, what did I have to let go of? That's the piece. How did I do the letting go? That's the work.
Yes.
So that's what the book is. It's the poetic piece, and then the belief structure that's connected, and the actual tangible habit to let go of that. And that's what each piece is. That's what every chapter is. And that's how I created the book.
Nice. And it's I'm looking forward to getting it and reading it. And you know, folks, if you haven't already, just get on your computer, go to stickvet.com, and it has everything up there. Just go through it. And I started going through the videos this afternoon, and I was like, wow. And like I said, I've already got the book in my cart on Amazon. So Mrs. Holland will just hit the buy button and she'll get it. So yeah. And if this can get people on the way to healing, that's, and like we say on this show, if we help one person, our mission is complete. But, you know, we want to help everybody. That's our goal. And with this mindset, especially, you know, having a squad, having a tribe, you know, having that group of people that, you know, that you can call. And, you know, I've probably got a few people in my life right now that I can call up, and it's like they'll be on the first thing smoking and get here. And I would do the same for them. And I'm sure there's a lot of us out there like that, and realizing that there's basically everybody's going through the same thing. And all we have to do is get together and talk it out.
That's what I'm doing now. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking these pieces of the Warrior's Reflection that I did in videos, and every Tuesday and Thursday in my StickNation Discord, I have a what I call a not a counseling group, because it's just a group of veterans with no counselors. And we watch the first piece of the Warrior's Reflection, and we just go into one of those pieces, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And so we just listen to one, and then we have an open discussion and talk it out. How's this relate? What do you have questions? Da da da. And it's a way of going through and trying to apply this work to our lives as a group. And so that's, if this poem was something that hit you and you want to learn more about in an interactive way, check out StickNation through the website. It's on there.
All right. Well, I will probably end up following and joining and doing all that. I think we got time for one last question here.
At Lavernus Jeff wants to know, how has StickNation impacted the way veterans support each other in today's world of online community? Thank you for that question.
So StickNation is my newest invention. It after I did the Warrior's Reflection, I was like, it just kind of made sense, and I couldn't figure out how to like do this on any other social media, which is why I'm on Discord. So Discord allows me to do it kind of like a watch party / group counseling with a stage and control who's talking and stuff. It just works. So we started doing it, and you know, I really thought it's hard work, right? Like it's group work. And so I thought, you know, people will be like, oh, what's this? And never come back. You know, that's kind of what I thought. I'm like, this is work. You know, it's like, hey, let's start a workout group, and everybody shows up for the first run, you know. But no, every session's been between a half dozen and 24 people. We're so because we do it on a stage, people can just chill in the audience and listen, and they don't have to like interact. They don't have to, they can just sit and listen and absorb, and they don't have to have the social pressures of doing anything. And so people sit there in the audience for a few weeks, and then they start coming up on stage when they're ready to do the work and engage and everything. So because of that, we now have people that are, we call them stick-minded people. We have people that are doing the work you know, they're chiming in from time to time in the NADA groups, but they're also like in the Discord doing the work consistently. We have channels. We have an in-house VSO. So we have veterans that are like, hey, I'm having trouble with this. He's on it. We have an in-house guy who helps people with resumes when those issues come up. So we have a few like pieces like that, but mostly it's people doing work. That's the point of the community. And when everything is oriented around that, it's like there's laughing and joking in the smoke pit. Sure. But most of the channels are like working on getting healthy physically, working on meditation, people down in a channel watching meditation videos together and such. It's where we're doing work is really the point of that community. And so if you're ready.
All right. Well, hey, Stick Vet, this hour has flown by.
Oh, yeah.
Sergeant Mem wants to highlight it was not stigma of any kind. It was purely FOMO. Okay. And I'm just going to throw this out there. Is that fear of missing out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm an old guy. I know a few acronyms, and we're not going to talk about any of them in here. So,
and he brought up a male and female thing, and I don't actually know. Like I tried to answer the best I can, but some aspects of like why that or this, I don't actually know. I've been out for a dozen years too, so
I completely understand.
Jeez.
So everybody, get on your computer, go to stickvet.com, check it out. I tell you what, I watched the video, the Warriors Reflection introduction. You heard it here. You'll hear it there too, plus a bunch of other videos. And they're spot on, man. That's all I can say. And I haven't cruised around the rest of the website yet, but I'm going to do that. Going to get the book and do all that, and hopefully I'll become part of the Stick Nation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we go, though, we have a question for you in 3 parts, and I usually ask it a little different way, but since it's Thursday, I'm going to go with the normal way, and I want you to tell me what the MisFit Nation or anybody listening tonight can do starting tomorrow. What are 3 things that they can do to become better humans?
The first thing is in the first 10 minutes of your day. It's not so much a what you do, it's a when you do. That first 10 minutes of the day will have more cascading effects throughout the rest of your day. If you get up and you meditate, if you get up and you pray, if you remind yourself of your belief structures in some way, shape, or form, vision board, some sort of music that gets you in the right frame of mind, whatever it is, the cascading effects from that habit of the first 10 minutes is more impacting than if you did it an hour later. So the first piece would be in the first 10 minutes. Okay. The second thing would be know what you believe. Start that journal. The journal isn't like, oh, this is what I did today, or these are my feelings and stuff. Start the journal. And I say the journal because, I mean, the journal that you've been thinking about starting, saying you would do, did 1 page, never wrote again, attempted this and given up on ever attempting it again. Start the journal. But this time, write down what you believe. Okay. If there's 100 things that you could believe in, try and write all 100. It's hard. And then you remind yourself of that every single day. Okay. To keep yourself on your path. The first 10 minutes, remind yourself of your beliefs, and the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes determine your entire sleep, your sleep hygiene at the end of the day. Just like the cascading effects of the first 10 minutes, your setting yourself up for failure or setting yourself up for success. If you're going to sleep with a phone in your face and an anxiety running through your brain that you can't actually feel as you're numbed out, you're going to have consequences the next day. So
Okay.
it's a cascading negative effect if you're not doing what's healthy in that last 10 minutes. That would be my 3 things.
All right. All right.
Fantastic.
Folks, you heard it here first. Travis, I love this chat. It was
It was funny, and then it was intense, and then it was funny, and then it was tense, and it was great chat. I loved it.
yeah, and I tell you
It was
what,
like
I
in
want
your
to
face, and then it was backed off and relaxed.
I want to thank all of our Misfit Nation listeners that are out there this evening. I want to thank all of your listeners and followers that got on here this evening, and just all the questions.
Yeah, the Stick Nation, they were in the chat. They were going. I
Oh,
love it.
yes, they were. You know,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Here's to you, Stick Nation.
You all are
This
great.
was-
You should hang out with us more often.
Yes, yeah, we welcome you to this side. Come on in. But Travis, thank you for being here. You write another book, hit us up. We'll do this again.
Absolutely. Will do.
We will do
Thank
this again. And like I said before, we're all here for one another. So need anything, give us a holler.
Will do. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, you are so welcome. Misfit Nation, we'll catch up to you next time. Make sure you check out tomorrow's show. It is going to be, I believe, at 9 o'clock in the morning, Central Time. It's
Show
gonna be
600.
It's going to be
600.
show number 600. Okay, so make sure and check that out. Hey, y'all have a great evening. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are